What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Monday, March 21st, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that you're having a great Monday to start this week off, and I hope you had a great weekend too. I appreciate you all. Well, we're going to see that moon in Scorpio, and of course that sun is in Aries, so this is definitely a lot of jet fuel. That Aries sun is at 1 degree, so we're talking about an Aries exalted sun, the I am presence at a 1. And remember, 1 is you, it is the I. So there's a lot of identification today. There's a lot of fuel, there's a lot of power right now in knowing who you are and owning that. And I think that with the moon in Scorpio, it's intensifying a lot of the aspects of life that we're ready to destroy. This moon's heavily aspected. It's going to oppose Uranus. It's going to square over to Mars. It's going to square over to Venus today. So there's a lot of that pressure on Mars especially, and Venus, because they're both also square Uranus. Now, Venus has ended that square, but it's still tight enough, and Mars is a degree away from the exact square, which we'll see Tuesday evening from that Uranus. So there is just a heavy sort of impulse right now to destroy a life that, to me, it's like destroying things in life right now that are not a full connection. They're just happening organically, and I think that it can feel very intense. It can feel very powerful. We can also be, I think there's a lot of this day that can feel like a deep, intense, powerful energy that like, oh yeah, this is not the thing. This is not the connection. These are not the people. This is not the vibe. This is not the relationship. This is not the job. This is not a lot of things. And just, coming face to face with what that is, and being intelligent too, and figuring out within our own self and our own mind that we can legitimately start anything we want if we feel called to. And with Mercury in between Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, I mean, it's hard to be intelligent right now. It's hard to just have things figured out. What do we really have figured out? This is just about trusting your emotions, trusting your channel. Especially with Neptune really starting to, it's a tight trine to the south node and a sextile to the north node in Taurus at 23 degrees and Scorpio 23 degrees. This is like your intuition can actually create the most beautiful life for you, but you have to trust that right now, because linearly and just intellectually you're probably going to be judging your own truth. You're probably going to be judging other people's truth. And this is the time to dissolve those judgments and create a life that you really want to identify with, and start letting the things go in life that aren't there, that aren't valuable, that aren't part of your identity, that don't feel comfortable. They're like, we're searching for comfort right now. And that comfort is not going to just show up, I think, from anything just out there. Maybe. It definitely could. Anything's possible right now. You might find that this week and even today, like, things start happening out of nowhere to help us evolve, to help us grow, and to help us realize what we are moving into, what we are really meant to start. And I think especially spiritually or intuitively, you'll definitely know what that looks like. The moon will also come to that trine to Jupiter today, and I think that's where this day doesn't, even with the falled out moon, falled out Mercury, like there's something about finding the right wave. There's something about finding abundance right now and being able to let go and detach so that you can be much more in a flow and really pick up this universal wisdom that's coming through. And there doesn't have to be from a book, it doesn't have to be from a person, it's just coming through your senses and trusting that and letting that be part of the I am presence that you might be feeling right now, and the power that can bring you and the power that can show. The moon is also going to finish off the night with a square over to Saturn. So by the end, it's almost like, did we make the right decisions? Did we make decisions? Did we find power? Did we find our identification? Did we find our individuality? Are we around the right people? Do we have good connection to life right now? To ourself, to our emotions, to our depth, to our wisdom? And it could be a good checkpoint as we finish off this day of like, oh, do we? Mars is also in that sextile to Chiron too, and Chiron's in Aries, Mars disposits it, so our sensitivities, our vulnerabilities, they're showing us so much about who we are right now, and I think if we can own that truth and make changes in our life to do something better, it's going to show up in a really positive way. Even if things look like maybe they're all over the place or a little crazy, it's only to get us to the I am that we're meant to be right here, right now. Card is the King of Wands today, in reverse. You know, I think we find the power we're looking for today. I think it might come through some crazy sort of feelings or some deep emotions or some deep thought and trying to have things figured out. But ultimately our heart knows where it's at, and that's where we find that authority and that leadership and that assertiveness right now. And it does define us a direction. I think it's just like letting go and, you know, can make us feel like we don't have any power. But really it's a day that I think we ultimately find the power in maybe a feeling of powerlessness. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you for Tuesday's horoscope tomorrow. Much love. Peace.